Najreen Baloch, and you're watching my YouTube channel Insani Ittihad, which aims to invoke a little bit of humanity in all of us through awareness and understanding. So continuing the last topic, what it means to be a Jew. I know I was a bit of emotionally unstable, so I thought that the points that I missed out I should highlight. So the foremost and the most important advice that I am in no position to advise anyone, but even it's just my opinion. Like it, then take it. Don't like it, then well, throw it in the air. Who cares? So this would be my humble suggestion to all those converts to Judaism, or thinking to convert to Judaism, is that please don't convert to Judaism for the sake of marrying someone. Although I can completely understand that it is actually human beings which inspire us so deeply, and we're just so sort of inspired and so much connected to them that we come across divine divine meanings, or divine meanings to life, and divine providence, or so for someone who is so much in love with someone and can't marry them without converting, and just wants to do it, just wants to convert to be with that person, I think personally I feel it's a big insult to what Judaism is. I'm not an expert in Judaism. The very, very, very little that I know, and this is coming from someone who has not read the Torah properly, or any of the religious books, is just whatever I got from the Chabad.com, or here and there. So the very little I know of Judaism is much more than just doing it for somebody you really care about, or somebody who is inspiring you. Of course, if you are a Gentile of any religion for that matter, you have lived a certain way, and all of a sudden you are exposed to this human being which has changed your life or impacted you so deeply. But again, convert to Judaism for Judaism, and know that converting to Judaism is not just rituals and this and that. It's actually literally taking up the legacy of Abraham and Sarah. Anyone doesn't have to take up that. And like we discussed, that it is becoming their children, becoming their, and it's completely fine that if you don't want that, because our parents also have a legacy. They bring us to this world. For example, I see my parents, they're both genital Muslims, and they have their beautiful story of togetherness. They have their own backgrounds and their own values, they come from their own distinct culture, very apart. By the way, my mother is she was an Afghan, Punjabi, and mixture of a lot of cultures. And then my father was his ancestry goes back to the Iraq Babylonian thing, and my grandmother is a Persian. So it's a mixed up, very beautiful, colorful ancestry, and this is for many other people who have different sort of cultures, and sometimes they have one culture which is very beautiful and amazing, and you truly want to continue that legacy and go on with that, and that's completely fine. Not everyone has to be the sons and daughters of Abraham and Sarah and take up their legacy. So it is, and if you're taking it up, you better know what that means. And then also the rituals and stuff, they have their own distinct, significant importance. But I think as an individual, when for a moment you think that you have to let go your own people, your own parents, literally their legacy, then you know you would, if and still you understand the depth of it and the importance of it, and you still say that yes, I want to take up the legacy of the couple, the most influential couple of the world. I mean, they, from them we have like three Abrahamic religions. So obviously when you do it, then do it with utmost responsibility and, you know, awareness that this is what it means. Also, I personally feel that even though you are up for that legacy responsibility and up for all those things, and you feel spiritually connected towards Judaism, you want to convert, even then the second thing comes up is that why would you be, and you know, what is that as a Gentile you can add up to that family of Abraham and Sarah? Why should you be included? And then historically, if we see the converts, I mean, the most inspiring convert to Judaism for me was Ruth, and it is just, her story is just so amazing that, I mean, Naomi has two sons and two daughter-in-laws, and one goes back, I mean, after their husband, Naomi's both son die, and then the daughter-in-laws, Naomi says to her daughter-in-laws that, you know, you can go back to your people and I would be going back to Israel and my people, because my husband and my sons are no more, so I would just go there. So now these two daughter-in-laws, they are from very high influential non-Jewish backgrounds. Although I don't know, and I'm not sure that when they were converting, they married Naomi's sons, were they converted then or not? So I'm not sure about that, but I personally think they would have converted and they would have lived more or less Jewish kind of life with Naomi and her sons, the entire family. So I mean, in that sense, we see that, you know, one of the daughter-in-law goes back to her people and her ways, and Ruth decides to be with her mother-in-law. And I mean, we can say that maybe she would have done it out of love and respect for her, you know, mother-in-law. I mean, after all, she was old and she was going, although she was going to her own people, but then again, she was old, who would take care of her and stuff, and, you know, she probably would have saw a mother in her, and then said, okay, she is going, why shouldn't I go? I mean, out of care and love, out of that individual's love, or that relationship that Naomi and Ruth have between, or had previously as a daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. She might have made that decision on the basis of that. But I feel it's that too, but it's also much more than that. Maybe Ruth had an awareness that it is important for her to go, because the similar sort of love and relationship Naomi had for her other daughter-in-law. So why Ruth decided to go with her mother-in-law to the Israelites and not the other one? So I think that in one, there is this inherent destiny for everyone. I think Hashem, Allah, God, whatever it means to you, has a purpose, has a design path for all of us. We can choose how we get to that. We have a design. Hashem designs our destiny as in our destination, that in the end of the day, what we ought to be. But the path that we take to get to that destination can be molded and changed as per our own free will and our own decisions and thinking and whatever we choose to do. So it was the destination of Ruth to you know, be the great grandmother of David, King David. And she had to be the wife. I mean, it was really ironic for me to think that, I mean, she had, she was young and she was married to a young man, but she didn't conceive. Naomi didn't had any children. And then Naomi's sons die, and then she has Ruth, and Ruth goes with Naomi, and then she marries, and then Naomi suggests to the Ruth that, you know, she should, somehow seduce Boaz and marry him. And Boaz is a old man, and it was really very ironic that how can Naomi would say to, you know, Ruth that go seduce that old man who has hired you for a job of peasant and is responsible for our livelihoods. That is weird. But then you think of it, Naomi, I mean, this is a Jewish tradition that if the husband of one brother's wife dies, so the brother should take on that wife if she is childless, so and young. So rather than remarrying anyone else, the brother of that person who died should take up his, you know, widow. So, and then the firstborn would be actually, you know, spiritually the son of that deceased brother, and not that person. And that's what exactly happened. Ruth had a son and from Boaz, and Naomi probably would have thought that, you know, this is my grandson also, in a way. So she, you know, in a way said that, you know, she should, I mean, Naomi could have married that old man herself. I mean, she was a widow too, so she could have, and the reason is simply not because she just wanted to marry, or, you know, it was because Naomi wanted a grandson. So that had to come from Ruth. Ruth, a young woman, also can conceive, and she was an older woman, she couldn't conceive. So Naomi did it out of the love and sheer desperation of having a grandchild, and through Ruth. And Ruth somehow probably would have done it for her deceased husband. And then also it was meant to be that somehow Ruth and Boaz had to be married, and Ruth had to carry Boaz's son, and spiritually her deceased husband. So yeah, so it was, this insight was very beautiful and very nice, and this makes me wonder that converting to Judaism is something, it is not like I said, it is not like you go to a mosque and you say few words and you become a Muslim, and then you keep on learning and, you know, becoming better Muslim. It's Judaism is much, it's sort of a family dynamic, and then ritual based, and then community based. So, you know, from Noah to, even from Adam, coming from Adam to up till Moshe Rabbeinu, the whole journey of the Jewish people is based on this family dynamics. There are couples, they're significant couples, they're making decisions, they're, you know, following God, Hashem, and God is guiding them. They're going from one place to another place, they're doing certain things, but and they're living a certain way, as per told to them by Hashem. The community comes only under the leadership of Moshe, after so many, you know, so many stories and so many things. So it's a beautiful concept that, you know, a convert must understand, that Judaism is not just an individual based religion, but it has to be made individually. It's a religion with family dynamics, it's a religion with community dynamics, sort of, so to speak. it is much deeper connection to, you know, the divine and Hashem. So one has to develop a marital sort of, metaphorically speaking, a marital sort of a relationship individually with Hashem, and then obviously with your spouse or with that family structure. Because if we see, the rituals are basically family oriented. You observe Shabbat with the community and as well as with your family. You have kosher food, you have, you know, everything it revolves around home and then community. But foremost, one has to develop this relationship with Hashem individually and then become the part of the community. And I think that is something that I wanted to share. And I hope whoever is converting, thinking of converting, they would understand what it means to be a Jew. And it is completely, like I have previously said, it is completely fine to be a Gentile. I am a Gentile till now. So I am also a creation of Hashem, and I have my own distinct purpose. But if I ever convert, I should have these awareness, or anyone who aspires to convert should have these awareness, should know what they're doing, and have a huge amount of respect for that. And yeah, so this is just what I wanted to share, that if you do decide to convert it with utmost awareness and this awareness and this realization that what it actually means to be a Jew. So I hope I didn't offended anyone, or, you know, anyone hurted anyone. And yeah, in the end, I would just say this lovely sentence, which was actually said at the Muslim Jewish conference. They were like, this is that and this is that, and what's the big deal? So I would just say, Jew or a Gentile, what's the big deal? You only have to be a decent human being. That's it.